Nearly 10,000 truck drivers have lost their license to drive under a new federal rule requiring English proficiency. It's because of an executive order the president issued this year. Emma McDarris talked to local trucking companies about the potential impact on you.
America runs on truck drivers.
During the holidays, many are depending on gifts and groceries being delivered, but don't realize the intense training truck drivers go through to make that happen. Roger Hawkins is the CDL training manager at Wilson Logistics in Stratford.
The first phase will be here on the pad, as we see behind us here, working and learning how to learn the basics of the vehicle, learning how to safely operate it and pass the CDL exam.
Michael Wilson with Trailliners says that's just the beginning.
And they go out on the road with an over-the-road trainer for like a full month where they are driving thousands and thousands of miles.
Trucking companies across the nation had to look at their hiring practices after President Trump's executive order requiring drivers to be fluent in English. While it caused shortages in some parts of the country, companies around Springfield say these types of guidelines were always in their hiring and testing process.
So our CDL exam has to be administered in English, so they have to be able to read and understand and speak English fluently.
Wilson says that though he has seen the English fluency requirement lean back and forth throughout his time, safety has remained a constant.
The safety standards, those have never been relaxed as far as being able to pass all the requirements to get your license and maintain that license. They're very serious about it, and they always have been.
Both Wilson and Hawkins say they hope people don't have any negative misconceptions about drivers and want to remind them that the holiday season depends on these drivers.
I think that people forget sometimes that everybody's got family, everybody's got people, and they are, taking time away from those families so that they can deliver stuff for everybody else to be able to have a life.
In Greene County, Emma McDarris, KY3 News.